All right, guys. So, new patch notes have come out for Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. Just keep in mind some of the things. Initially, the coins, when you were rebuilding the statues, sometimes they didn't give you blueprints, they just gave you coins. Apparently, that was a bug. So, they posted that they are now re-breaking. We've rebroken all statues in the world. As previously, restored statues will be repairable for free and should immediately start awarding any missing recipe fragments. So you're gonna have to go back, just like we are today. We're gonna go back through, see what statues are broken, see if they're all the way broken from the start, or if it's just the ones most recently that weren't giving us recipes. Because we probably had, I don't know, maybe 10 statues throughout our gameplay right now that have given us no rewards and just gold coin. But on that, um, the reward for repairing a statue after collecting all the fragments have been changed to coal and iron. Please note, if you received ore instead of an expected recipe fragment, please try repairing a few more statues to let the system catch up. So, just keep that in mind. Like it said, you may not get something right away from doing that first statue because it's trying to catch up. Because they didn't say, oh, we only fixed the bugged statues. They said they rebroke all the statues in the game because they don't know which ones were giving recipes and which ones were giving coins for everybody. And everybody's server was different. So they weren't the same statues. All right, and down here they did a lot more performance and bug enhancements, improved load times when fast traveling between locations in the world, especially very large locations like the drain pump. We say improved because it gets better in the next update. We fixed an issue with mill tables, bellows, and other crafting stations that failed to register in multiplayer games. We've had a lot of issues with that where it'll work for one player, it'll say you're missing something for another player. Another big issue that I'm happy to see, the fixed issue with furnace timer not counting down. The furnace, the craft, they already talked about fixing the crafting stations. You get stuck in an infinite crafting loop. And at least we got lucky enough, somebody in our party would be able to grab the crafted items. But that's nice to see. They fixed an issue with the rune table, incorrect text, further reduced infinite and long loading dot walls. So anytime you've zoned in, you just immediately started running off and you went through one of the tunnels you've already pre-dug, you generally hit a dot wall and you gotta wait for the game to catch up and load. So that is something that they're trying to make better, and we'll have to see along the way. We did have an issue where we went through a dot wall, we got bugged, and then the whole rest of our gameplay, until we relaunched the next day, we had no mobs. So that's an interesting issue. At least 7 known crashes resolved. I don't think we only had one hard crash. Don't understand, but we had a crash. No big deal. We relaunched. It actually saved my life because I actually died, and my buddy was trying to res me. Well, he was coming towards me when the server crashed, and when it reverted, my food was still cooked, and I had a little smidge of life that I was able to eat and get out of the darkness. Let's see here. Tuning some improvements. Drastically reduce the number of enemy patrols, especially at night. Increase rewards for fighting, including... This was a big one. Fighting enemies and getting the black diamond, because eventually it seemed like it was really hard to get it. That we got more black diamond killing trolls or starting hordes and wiping out all those. Um, the Urks plus a guaranteed black diamond dot from trolls and the Nameless Beast. That's kind of cool because we actually got to kill the Nameless Beast. I do have a YouTube video of one spawning on me and instantly freaking me out and killing me immediately. But we killed it, and it literally just gave us meat and hide. So it's cool to see that it'll actually give you something for killing it. And the fact killing trolls, unless you literally have them come out in sunlight, you don't get anything from them. So it's nice to see them adding stuff to these guys. Reduce the average difficulty of enemy encounters in Westgate. Don't really feel like that was an issue. Even the wolves in Elven's Quarter wasn't that big of an issue. Let's see. Nerf penalties for fast traveling, including reduced energy and hunger costs. Added a short window to fast travel again without penalty and do over. Now the buffs and mills well fed, full and stuff will negate the... See, now that's nice. Because that was the biggest thing I always hated. You'd max buff yourself, you'd instantly teleport, and then you lost a little over a quarter of your hunger bar, which also depleted your buffs that you had. So that's kind of cool that they're fixing that. Because you eventually get to a point where you don't want to rebuild another base, and you're just building a teleporter to where your next location is and TPing back and forth to your base. Increase the prevalence of scale drops. That'd be nice because killed it. Each Drake we killed, we only got one. Get it from Drakes and rarely gash orcs. I have to pay attention. I'm pretty sure we fought the gash orcs, but I'd have to look at their names. I know we've gotten Gungbag Slag. Additionally, the scale cost of the Shakahaman has been reduced. Increase the drop rate from the orcs, including the amount to smelt. Okay. Oh, I'm using that torch. The torch and the miner's helmet now prevent despair at night by dispelling the darkness debuff. Despair will still occur in the darkest depths and when touching shadow regardless. Interesting. So that's nice to see that as long as I'm not down below in the darkest. Okay. Deep ore camps will now populate the correct number of enemies, okay? Fixed an issue where singing would stop stamina from draining for all activities instead. Just mining as originally intended. Yeah, I didn't really see any of that. I had more issues of not being able to get the buff and you're stuck singing, but your character wasn't singing anymore. Legendary forges no longer have fuel requirements. Player's health when respawning from death increased by 100%. Player's health when revived. See, now that's nice. Bringing you up to 40% if a player revives you, because it literally would give you maybe 5 HP when you get revived. Slightly decreased in HP restored by rations, primary cram. Oh, man. Yeah, we noticed that crams were super easy to make and super busted for restoring your HP, so it doesn't make sense that they're slightly nerfing that. Set of wooden stairs been added. That's good, because granite's like the next tier that actually gives you stairs. For players who have previously built a small hearth, the stairs should unlock when you manipulate the items in your inventory, okay? Increased Ironwood's rune drop chance for Ironwood. If you've not discovered this yet, the best way to gain Ironwood remains to inscribe a rune on an axe and go to a tree and start chopping. Yeah, we built one of those axes, but the trees don't respond in Elderwood, and you have to find the big mushrooms in the deep that look like trees to chop those, and you get one. It's still better than nothing, but most of the wood we've gotten was just running through the buildings and actually harvesting all the material there, breaking it. Updated wake up on death. Improved enemy death poses. Spider nest will no longer flicker. Reduced wing flap volume. Reduced specific orc screaming audio. Most players know which one. Yeah. Fight at the drain pumps. Fixed an issue where they could not see the enemy's damage state. Yeah, we never had that issue at the drain pumps. Each shot we saw at least a quarter tick of health each time. During fight, peers much more vulnerable to destruction. Watch where you're standing. I know the hit of the UI for the tentacles was you'd see them hit to the left of you, and then they'd still hit on top of you, and you'd be like, "What?" Final boss fight. Improvements to the story path before and after. Lip sync improvements. Audio tweaks. Controller support fixed to soft lock when fast traveling. Exit fixed. Okay. Location. Fixed a number of untranslated English strings to for supported languages. All right. So that seems to be the update. They do have a timeline that they have released as well. So this is just one of the releases. They wanted to get a couple of patches out there. So as they come out, I'll let you know. And as our progress continues, I will keep you updated. And just remember, if there's anything you want to see, if there's any questions, come by my live stream. Type in my channel, type on YouTube, leave me a question, and I will answer it the best of my ability, because I love being able to help communities out for the games I love to play. So, with that in mind, I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, like and subscribe, and you guys have a good one. Thanks. Bye, guys.